All right, welcome back to the Explainer, everyone. Today, we are diving straight back into the fascinating source material of C.S. Lewis's universe. We're going to uncover the darkest and honestly the most magical origins of this classic lore together. So get ready, because we are leaving London completely behind. You know, it's kind of wild to think about, right? The whole foundational universe of Narnia didn't start with a snowy forest or a magical wardrobe. It started somewhere much more sinister. Long before the Pevensey children ever stumbled into that wardrobe, the very first crossings between our world and the magical realms happened in a dark, truly terrifying Victorian study. I want you to picture this. You're Diggory, you're just a young boy, and you are totally trapped in a locked room with a madman who happens to be your own uncle. And this guy has just manipulated your best friend, Polly, into touching a glowing yellow ring. The absolute second she touched it, no flash, no sound, she just vanished into thin air. I mean, what actually happens when a magical experiment like this goes so terribly wrong? Well, let's find out. Section 1. The Magician's Dark Secret and Uncle Andrew's Cruelty. Uncle Andrew actually tries to justify his terrible actions with a really chilling statement. He says, "Ours, my boy, is a high and lonely destiny." He literally looks this kid in the eye and tells him that rules and common morals might be fine for little boys or servants, but great thinkers and sages like himself, they're completely freed from all that. It's just a terrifying display of sheer narcissism. And his path to magic was entirely ruthless, top to bottom. So he gets this secret, ancient box from his godmother, Mrs. LeFay, who actually had fairy blood. Now, he promised her he'd burn it unopened, but of course, he broke that promise. And to uncover the mysteries of this box, he didn't risk his own neck. Oh no, he sacrificed innocent guinea pigs, some of which exploded like tiny little bombs, literally, and ultimately he tricked an innocent girl. Why? Because he was just too cowardly to make the dangerous journey himself. Moving into Section 2, the magic of the rings and their dangerous mechanics. Okay, so the magic itself comes from this stuff called Atlantean dust. We're not talking about normal dirt here. It's this incredibly fine, dry dust brought from another world at the dawn of time, kept in a box from the lost island of Atlantis. Uncle Andrew figured out that this ancient dust actively yearned to return to its original universe, and he forged it into two very specific types of rings. So he creates these two distinct rings. He's got the yellow rings, which he firmly believes send you outward into the other place, and the green rings, which he thinks pull you back home. But spoiler alert, Uncle Andrew completely misunderstood his own magic. He had it totally wrong. The yellow wasn't for outward and green for homeward. It's actually all about entering and exiting a specific in-between space. So, because Uncle Andrew is a massive coward, Diggory gets blackmailed. He is forced to put on a yellow ring to go after Polly, and he has to carry two green ones right there in his pocket to bring them both back. Diggory bravely touches the yellow ring and instantly vanishes from that dark, horrible study. Which brings us to Section 3, the Wood Between the Worlds, a peaceful escape. Diggory totally expects to be terrified, right? But instead, he finds himself rushing upward through what feels exactly like water. Yet, when his head breaks the surface, he scrambles ashore onto the grassy edge of a small pool, perfectly dry. He has arrived in literally the quietest, most peaceful place you could possibly imagine. And this place is unlike any normal forest. There are no birds, no insects, not even a breeze. The light is this bright, warm green, shining down through a really dense canopy. The ground is just dotted everywhere with dozens of shallow pools of water. This dreamy forest is so vibrant and alive, you can almost hear the trees growing and drinking up the water with their roots. But it has a catch. It casts this dangerous spell of magical, sleepy forgetfulness. There's this amazing quote where Diggory describes it later. "It was a rich place, as rich as plum cake." I love that. The atmosphere is so thick and content that Diggory almost instantly forgets his mother, Uncle Andrew, even his own identity. He feels like he's just always been there, perfectly happy to lie down and do absolutely nothing for the rest of time. Section 4. Reunifying with Polly and breaking the spell. When he finally spots Polly lying half asleep under a tree, it's honestly like two dreamers slowly trying to wake up. They just look at each other with this vague, fuzzy sense of familiarity. All their memories of London, of exploring those attics, they feel like nothing more than a fading dream. They are completely succumbing to the peace of the wood. They really almost stay there forever. So what snaps them out of it? A guinea pig. Seriously. They spot this fat guinea pig rooting around in the grass, but it's Uncle Andrew's missing guinea pig, and it's still wearing its yellow ring tied to a piece of tape. Seeing that yellow ring makes them look down at their own hands, see their own matching rings, and suddenly, wham, the horrifying reality of Uncle Andrew comes rushing right back to them. Now for Section 5, Gateways to Worlds and the Infinite Multiverse. Okay, so they're fully awake to their situation now, and they need to figure out how the magic of this serene forest actually operates. They try to get home by holding hands and jumping straight back into the pool they came from, but splash. They just get their feet wet. That's when they realize the yellow rings brought them into the wood, so they definitely have to swap to the green rings if they want to exit the wood and get back to London. But right before they jump back, Diggory has this massive light bulb moment. He thinks about the dark tunnel connecting their attics back home. It's not a house itself, it's the space between houses. It hits him. This wood is exactly the same thing. It's not a world, it's an in-between place connecting worlds, which leads to the ultimate realization. Every single puddle around them is a doorway to a totally different universe. He actually yells out, "I think we can get out of this place into jolly well anywhere." You can just feel the sheer thrill of that discovery. They aren't just two lost kids anymore, they are literally standing at the crossroads of an infinite multiverse. Naturally, Diggory wants to jump into a new pool right that second. But Polly is the pragmatic one here. She points out that if they wander off among dozens of identical pools and identical trees, they might never find their way back home. So thanks to her quick thinking, Diggory takes his penknife and cuts a long strip of rich brown turf, marking their home pool forever. It's a really brilliant survival tactic. With the escape route safely marked, their curiosity totally takes over. They put the yellow rings away. Actually, scratch that, they realize they must use the green rings to leave the wood. So they slip on their green rings, hold hands, count 1, 2, 3, go, and they plunge down into the darkness of an entirely new, unmapped universe. And that is exactly where this explainer leaves them, literally falling through the void. Will they find a world of incredible wonder or a world of complete ruin? You absolutely do not want to miss what happens next. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for Unity YT right now, because in our next explainer, we are jumping straight into the dark, dying, and highly dangerous city of Charn. Until then, ask yourself, if you stood in the wood between the worlds, which pool would you jump into?